Let's talk about this new payment system. It's been launched in South Africa. I see a lot of people on social media talking about it. Payshap is available at all major South African banks. It enables instant payments between them. But I know what you're wondering, isn't that already in place? That's why we've dragged in personal finance columnist Maya Fisher-French to talk about the money on this. Hello to you, Maya. So I was under the impression as well that you can do instant payments between banks, but the difference is you have to pay for it each time. How is this different?
So this is different in the sense that it's actually a completely different payment system. So it's part of this massive modernization of our payment system, which has been up till now called the Rapid Payment Program. So this is actually not at all like an instant payment. It uses almost completely different payment rails, to use banking speak. And by the way, I know you're struggling with the pronunciation. Payshap, right?
Oh.
That's what it is, Payshap. That's where it comes from. And what it is that basically, if I want to pay you, instead of you giving me your banking details, you just give me your cell phone number. And I put the cell phone number in, and the money's paid into your bank account, not your cell phone that you have to go and draw the cash like an e-wallet. It's paid into your bank account in 10 seconds. So instant payments can even take up to 2 hours to happen. This is a completely and utterly different payment system. So incredibly quick, and obviously the applications, the idea is they're talking about digitalizing cash. They want to almost take cash out the system. You're at the spaza shop, you're climbing onto the taxi, wherever you are, you can just simply put in a cell phone number. And of course, there's such security now because I'm not having to share my bank account with someone to get paid.
Yeah, obviously also it's much safer than carrying cash around with you as well, which we know how dangerous that is here in our country.
Absolutely. And I think what's important to understand, though, Gareth, when I went in to test it out, it's not that simple as with all these banking things. It's very important to understand that you actually have to register on your banking app. And currently, there's only 4 banks that are on it. All the banks are going to be part of it, but they're obviously putting out pilot phases. And that's ABSA, Standard Bank, Nedbank, and FNB, the big 4. And you have to go onto your banking app and you have to create a Payshap ID number and link your cell phone number to that. So you have to have done all those steps before you can actually use it as well.
So when we start talking about the rollout of this now, you mentioned the big 4. Is this something that all the banks have to do, or are they going to do it because it's just the way of the future?
I think they've all bought into it. So I'm not sure if they have to, but all the banks, it is part of the way of the future because they are going to, almost every single new payment system and new development is going to happen on these new rails. So one of the examples is they're going to start doing cross-border as well. So they're going to start creating corridors into certain countries with certain banks. Well, you can imagine now you're from another country, but you're working in South Africa, remitting funds over back home. Imagine in 10 seconds your family having it. So these are the amazing developments that we're going to see coming forward. Another one is that I will be able to request money from someone, so you could actually ask for payment. You could just simply send a family member, which is usually what it is, saying, please help, I need money now, and that will be that payment can be immediately done. So there's so much technology and development that's going to come off this. But of course, we've got to watch the fees. And the fees have been an interesting one. So the banks have come up with a very big range on fees. We have someone like Nedbank coming in at R1, FNB at R6, and then ABSA's got this weird tiering from R2.50 up to R45. So a little bit, I'm watching the pricing. Of course, when the sort of challenger banks like Capitec and Time Bank come in, that's going to be interesting. But I should also just mention it at this stage, because of security, you can only do up to R3,000. They are capping it at R3,000 at the moment.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what is the limit on that? And also, how does this affect in any way if, for example, I'm ABSA and you're ABSA, and we're using Payshap between the two of us? Is that now free, or is there still a bank charge to that? Because if we were using a normal banking app, Maya, you'll know if I'm paying ABSA to ABSA, you don't pay for that. So even if it's the same bank, is there a fee involved? Do you know?
I actually don't know, because I've only seen their schedule of payments. They haven't put their bank to bank, but I am actually, funny enough, speaking to ABSA today, so I will find out. But again, Gareth, this is not to replace all your payments. You know, you're going to say, right, this one's better suited for this. You know, you may still want to do an electronic funds transfer for various reasons. An instant payment may still be beneficial if you're doing more than R3,000. So I think it's just really adding in another payment option into the system. system. But yeah, I think the fees are. I know that the cost, I think, of the rails to the banks is about 50 cents. So I think we need to see a lot of competition around here, because if you're wanting to get everyone to move away from cash and to start using this, you're going to have to make it very, very attractive financially.
Yeah, it's also going to be very tricky as well, because you mentioned, I suppose this is where the security comes in, the cell phone numbers, because now what you could have is those criminally orientated mindsets start getting various SIM cards and start moving money around like that as well. But I suppose that could be a topic to pick up for another day. And I appreciate, as always, finance columnist Maya Fisher-French. It's very, very clever, rolled out by the big four banks. Looks like it is the way of the future. Anything to try and avoid carrying cash around on you is always going to be much safer.